Welcome back to another episode. Uh, Me making a game in Unity and using C Sharp about a village simulator. In the last episode, I was working on the new AI system and I got to a point where I was about ready to test it. And a little bit off screen, I was trying to test it a little bit. Let's just take a look at some of the code. Not sure where I got off last time, but I have I made this AI action, an abstract class. It has a list. This is more for the inspector. Just used for inspector. I might try to think about maybe I can make an editor that allows me to edit dictionaries, but we'll see about that. We'll see what I can do, or whether I'll get to that or not. At least I won't do it in this episode. I think this episode I'm just going to focus on testing out um, the AI system. We got cost, we got action name, and then this on awake, we set that dictionary based on the list. We have a check condition, and it loops through the key pairs of conditions. It sees if it's there, or if it's not there. No key, then return false. That means that the condition is not in whatever current state we're sending it. If it does have a key, if there is a key, and if the value needs to be more than 1. Because right now we're not like removing keys if they're 0. So keys will kind of stay in the world state, but we might change that later. And then I have a public virtual perform action, so all actions are going to have like a perform action that they'll take when they get to that spot. We'll probably add like a duration. So public float duration, and then public float duration timer. Kind of like what we did before with the task. So leave that there, and we'll worry about that later. I have just a simple world state, and it just has a dictionary of world states, and this is something that we would populate and keep track of things that are happening in the world, so that the AI could use that to make goals, or to see if goals are even possible. In our AI agent, we have a list of actions that we can do, and this is being populated by this right here. Populate all of our actions based on the components. So it checks to see what components. We have AI action components, and then we add it to our list. This is just for testing. And down here we have a dictionary of beliefs, and then we have a dictionary of goals, and then we have a queue of actions that are our plan. And right now, just for testing, I put in this little, let me type that in, testing. When I push the P for the plan, we're going to create a plan using our planner. I was doing a little debug to see what that plan, whether that was null or not. And then here, I'm just printing off all the actions in our plan to see what we get. In our AI planner, not sure if I changed any of this, but I was starting to put some debugs. And we do have an issue, so I'll just show that to you real quick. So this box right here is our test AI, and it's just not really doing anything, but it has an action here, and this action is a take resource from ground action, and there's no conditions, although there would be if this for just for testing. I left it blank. And then the effect is has resource and equals 1. The effects, uh, sorry, the effect is 1. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah, right here. The effect is 1. Now we have a cost, we have a name, we have the agent, and right now in my agent, I can't do anything. Like, I could add these, but it does it automatically. In our build, I have another action called build. Any building has resource is a condition. That condition needs to be a 1. Or it doesn't need to be a 1, but yeah, I think it needs to be a 1. Right? It can't be less than 1. So it checks to see if that condition is somewhere. And then let's see, build a building. This is the name. The effect would be to build. Okay. Now if I go back to my AI, I gave him a goal, and the just for testing, I just gave him a goal that build is 1. So going back to here, I'm going to play it. I'm going to show you what happens. Here's our console debug. Let's just clear that for now. And let's press P. All right, let me pause it. So we got a couple different debugs. First, this was just going through the crate graph and making sure that we're going through each of the actions. And so you can see it checked to here, and then it checked to here. Notice it doesn't check it twice. The reason why it doesn't check it twice is it checks it once. It only checks for since at the beginning of this, the current states, there's nothing in the current states. I haven't added anything. So when it goes through these actions, it's looking for check the conditions. And when it goes to our AI action and it checks the condition, well, it's going to loop through all the conditions. Well, there are no conditions for the take resource action, so it just skips all of this and just returns true. We don't have any. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's go back to here. So then, when it loops, it goes through that one. And let me just see real quick. Let's see if we can run through this. So it goes through that. It removes it from the possibilities. It sets the current state by adding the effect. So it adds that effect of that take resource. And I should probably write that in there. Well, we'll just leave it for now. And it goes through that. So then it creates a new node. Add. And let's just do a debug here. Debug. .log. We're going to say AI action .name plus, all right, condition is good. All right, then it removes that action. It sets the effects. It creates a node for the action. It creates a new node based on the current node and all that as the cost. And it creates a copy of the current states. And the current states right here is we're adding the current states with the effects. So then we add that new node. And then if found goal, if is goal met, goal AI action.effects current goal is true, so I was using this so that it could keep track of which actions were satisfying the goal. And then debug goal is blank. Let's see if that debugged. All right, so here's our problem. So checking gold, or it did this one, and then it does this one. That means it skipped this one for the first loop. So it came here, and let's just say debug log recurse with all right, we're just testing this out. Man, it's being a pain in the butt. With AI action dot action name. So we're going to recurse with this action. And so it's creating a new graph, taking the new node, which is the node of this action that it added. It sends that list of nodes. So we're keeping track of all the nodes that's adding. It then takes the current available actions, which is being copied because we started with all the available actions, and then we're list of current actions. Yeah. Okay, this is where it might be a problem. Maybe this is where I'm having my issues. Because we are sending the current available actions. No, that's fine because we're making a copy of the old one. So we do get them all. And then the current states and the goal. So we're going to recurse here. All right. And then it goes here. And it's getting to this point where it's saying, okay, maybe current node. I think this needs to be new node instead of current node. New node is goal. Is goal is true instead of the current node. The current node, new node. The current node. Where is the current node being used right? Oh, this is saying the parent. Okay, maybe that was our problem because if we look at our debug, we still have it. What happened to him? Well, did I clear him? Well, let's play it. Wait. Let's play. What's going on? Press B. Actually, let me clear all those. Okay. Check. Taking out resource. Test agent. I didn't want the agent. Wanted that. Recurse with the take action. Then we're checking for the building. That was good again. Check is good. Goal is still takeout resource. So we're still getting this takeout resource as our goal. Let me debug it because maybe I'm debugging incorrectly. Right here I'm doing debug. We want the new node. New node is that. And let's change this to AI action name checking. AI action dot name plus condition is good. Why was it saying? Here, let's see. Take test agent condition is good. That makes no sense. AI action dot name condition is good. AI action. Why is it giving this test agent? Maybe I named it wrong. Let me look at this. I know why. This needs to be dot AI action or action name. Let's do that. And action name. Okay, action name. Let's save it. Let's go back to it. Let's play it. Let's print it or do the plan. All right, so we checked the resource. The condition was good. Recurse with takeout resource. Checking build. So we recursed with it. We checked building. build any building action now, because now it's part of that effect. This condition was good. Check is good. The goal is to build any building before Q. So I was just testing whether or not we had that we actually returned a Q, which we are here. And then this one was I checked it after as well. So, and then this one is our for each AI action and plan. So here's our oh no, here we go. We got build any building, and we have take out resource. Now what's happening though is it's doing it in the wrong order. Okay? Because it's getting the very first one. It's saying the first one is this here, taking out the resource. I mean, sorry, building is the first one, and then this is the second one. And then we got, that's all for our villager AI stuff. So it appears to be working. Just it's not in the right order. So let's see if we can fix that. Let's go to our AI planner. After we create it, is there a way to do it in reverse order? Is there something else that we use for the instead of in queue? Is there like a dot insert dot as average contains count? No, no, in queue, no. First, that doesn't seem to be correct. Maybe that gets the first of something. Intersect, no. Join by, join, last. Minimum max of type, order by, order by? Order by descending, ooh. There's some interesting things. I've never really used the queues before. Reverse, here we go. Reverse this baby. Right? Let's see if we can do that. Actually, how does that work? Plan dot reverse. Reverse it. Okay, let's see if that works. That would be awesome. I'm pretty excited if this is working. Nah. Nope. Oh, wait. Hold on. Where did I do that? Yeah, so let me get rid of this. Reverse. Is there anything that needs to go in here? Plan reverse. Doesn't make any sense. We reversed it. Let me just run it again. Just test. Right, this is the first one, this is the second one. But we reversed it. Can I... Let me go to the AI agent. Let's see. For I is... Now, it's not a big issue. Well, it might be because when you let's see. We're going to say plan dot count. And we're going to debug it. Based on the I. Let's just see if this changes things up. We want this to be plan. Cannot apply indexing with that. Huh? Mm-hmm. Alright, I don't really know how to use cues too much. You know, some of you who are watching this video and you've used him, or you probably know, like, oh, you should be totally doing this. But it's something I'm learning, or I probably need to learn. I do want to use them because I don't use them, and this is, not only am I trying to make a game, but this is going to help me to learn things. So if I kind of try different things, I think it'll help. Well, blah, 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 blah. I don't see anything that says, oh, element at. How about that? Okay. Do. Let's try it again. So it's doing the same thing. So this reverse thing doesn't seem to be working right. All right, build a building. It's saying it's the first thing still. So, I mean, it's not a big deal, but let's just say we want to do plan dot DQ. And what do I DQ? How does that work? DQ 0. DQ. Just DQ. And then let's do this again. Debug.log. First time. Debug.log. Second time. But yeah, this is kind of cool that it's working. I mean, as far as I can tell, I probably need to test it more just to see. All right, let's click the P. First time, build, take out. Second time, take out resources. So it takes away when you DQ it, it's taking away the very first thing. All right, so that's good to know. Which means we definitely need to get this thing reversed. And let me just see if this does anything. Plan, that reverse. Let's just try again. If not, I might have to just Google real quick. Hold on. First time. Yeah, it took it out again. Alrighty. Let me just pause the video real quick and see if I can Alright, we're back. So it's kind of weird. Looking at some documentation stuff. You have to, and I kind of thought this is what you would have to do, is basically kind of make a copy of it. And so I made another, this is in the AI planner. I call a reverse plan, and it's a new queue of AI actions, and then it takes the reverse of the plan. And then we return the reverse. So now we have the reverse, and if I go back to my debug, you can see first time we have take out, then the build, any building, and then we have the second time. So yeah, let's see if we can test this out more. Let's suppose we have, I don't know, another action. So resources on the ground. Our goal is to build. So let's create another action called gather resource. Okay, so it gathers the resource first. Okay, let's just test this out. Gather resource. We're gonna call it a AI agent or AI action. Do we need to do any of that stuff? I don't think so. Let me just double check. We really don't. Public override. Perform action. Let's just leave that like that. Let me go into. Now, this is something I'm going to definitely need to kind of fix and tweak. So I have this AI agent. I want to add. Here, can I move this? I can't reorder this. Why can't I reorder it? There. Let me add the gather resource. All right, the condition for this one is we're going to say there's no condition. No condition at all, but the effect is going to be resource on ground, and it will be set to 1. And we're going to say this action is gather resource. Okay, so let's go to our take resources. Whoops, see, I gotta do it in here. We're gonna add the condition resource on ground. The effect is still the same. And let me just double check that. Resource on ground. Let me do all lowercase cases. I could take these strings and make them automatically lowercase. So now we still have that goal. Let's see what happens. Print. Wait, print. Pause. Okay, so we're still take out resource. Why did it check that one first? It should not have tested that. Should not have checked that one first. Resource, recurse, build. Check is good. Goal is that. Okay, we're still doing the same thing. Hold on. The condition is nothing. The effect is resource on the ground. The effects ints is 1. Resource on, this is the condition. Why did it say that condition was okay? It should not be. The condition is not correct. All right, let's just figure this out. Let me move this up here. Come on. Okay. So this is why we got to test things out. So the gather resource has a condition, no condition. It should only check that one first because there's nothing in our state to begin with. Let me just go through this. No, maybe I just didn't scroll up all the way. Okay, now that's correct. So gather resource. Gather resource was good. Recurse with it. Take out resource. That's good. Take out resource. Condition is good. recurse with takeout resource. Okay, then we get the building. That's good. Check is good. Let's get rid of this debug. That has to do with the goal. Back to this. Clear. Why does it clear it? Did it always used to do that? Let's print it again. Okay, I just didn't scroll up all the way to see this. Gather resource, that's good. Takeout resource, that condition's good now. Recurse with takeout resource. Check build any building. Build any building, condition is good. Goal is this. So this is the first time, so this is our order. Gather the resource, take out the resource, which, I mean, okay, really take resource from ground. That's the action. I need to change that name. Build any building, and then the second time, we basically pretending that we did the first one. The second time we did the first action, and this is what we have left. So that is pretty cool. Now let's test out another thing. We're going to test out, let me copy this. How do I want to test this out? Let's go to, where's my world state? This is just a static class. Let's go to my AI agent. And we're going to test out, like that's the goal, but we're going to test this out. World state, world states, and we're going to add that already in the conditions. World states, and we're going to add, and we want to add resource on ground. So there's already a resource on the ground. Okay. Which means the best thing to do would be to take the resource off the ground, not to go gather it. So let's see. Let me push play. Let me pause it, and let's see if we can go through the debugs. So first we're going to check our gather resource. Now you might be wondering, well, hey, wait, that's not the best one. Well, first it has to go through all the actions that can get to the goal, and then if then it checks which one's the lowest cost. So it checks the resource. That's all good. Then it does the takeout resource. Then it gets to the building, and all that's good. Okay. All right. This is, oh, hold on. First time is that. Okay, that is not what it's supposed to do. So we are going through everything, and when we get the goal, we are saying, hey, we're done. We shouldn't make anything else. And that's not what we want. We want to have it check. Hold on. Resource on the ground. The only thing I can think of. Okay, let me just think. Take resource from the ground. The condition needs to be 1 in here. Resource on ground. Let me just make sure I'm spelling this correctly. Resource on ground. All right, let's take this away and just see if it still makes it. Okay. All right, let me clear everything. Play it, pause it. I thought I took it away. Why is it still using the gather resource? All right, maybe it can still use it even though I deactivated it. Let me remove the component. I know, I'm going to have to type all that again. That's annoying. Let me do that. All right, so now we got take out. Okay, yeah. So the condition is this. Let me just test. Let me go here, and let me get rid of this. So there is no world state for resource on ground. So let me save it. Just doing a lot of testing first to make sure that this is working. But this is kind of cool. You know, all right, checking takeout resource condition is good. That should not be good. There is no resource condition on the ground. Right? There is none. I took it away. So let's go to our AI actions and let's just see what we're doing. For each, if current states dot contains condition key, then return false. Else, if there is a key, here let's just debug.log. I think I just say action name plus does not meet condition, or let's do not in current state. Is it a bad thing to use statics? Clear everything, play it, and pause it. Take out resource condition, checking resource. Okay. Current states dot contains. Let's just make sure we're looping through this. Debug, log, checking, plus condition dot condition dot key plus condition dot value. All right, we got to do a lot of debugs to figure out what everything's going on. Okay, pause it. Checking that. Take out resource condition is good. Okay, so we are not even going through this loop. Let's go to our AI actions. We're not even going through this loop. Not. So which means it's not finding any conditions in our actions here. You can see it did it for both of them. Okay. Hey, we're doing this wrong right here. Let's change this to condition string. And then we're going to add the strings and the ints. Okay, maybe that's why. Let's test it out now. I'm going to save the project just in case we get in a infinite loop. You never know, we're doing recursion. All right, we got an error. So let's stop it. Checking takeout resource, checking resource ground, takeout resource is not in the current states. Okay, now that is working. Argument is null. This should be this right here. I don't need to reverse it anymore. I wonder if that would show and give an error. Let's test it out. Probably, right? Yep. Actually, all this. So we really, if now this is all for testing anyways. Plan is not equal to null. Which is good. It basically said, and actually let's look at this. It used to be it wouldn't clear. Maybe I have to stop playing it. Checks that out. It's checking if the resources on the ground is 1. Nope. Now it's checking the build, any building. You might be wondering, why is it doing that? Because it's one of the available actions still. We haven't used it. Checking resources 1. Okay, build any building is not in the current states, so it doesn't add it because it's not. It needs to have this that has resource. It's not there. We got null. We got nothing. All right, so now let's go back and add the gather resource action. There's resource. We're going to say there's no condition, right? And we want to add the effect resource on ground and add the int of 1. And we'll say resource. Move that away. Okay. Let's just give a cost to these things. Let's say the cost to do this is 2 because you gotta chop things down, versus the take resource 1. The cost is only 1. The building, we're gonna say it's 5. It's not gonna matter because we want build. All right, let's push play. Go to our console, play it, pause it. Okay, checking the takeout. It checks this one first, and it says nope, we don't have this, and then it checks the next action. Checking if it has the resource. Nope, it's not in the current states. So let's checking resource on ground. Checking resource on ground. What? Oh, why did I call it that? Okay, this. All right, let me do it again. This is gather resource, and this is, pretend that this is like a tree that you have to chop down first, which again will take longer to do. Okay. Like I said, I'm getting pretty close to this, so let me pause it. Take out the resource, not good. Checking out the building. I'm not sure if I can zoom in on this text. I wish I could. It might be hard for you to see. I don't know. Building, not there. Checking gather resource. So now we're doing that last action, and gather resource condition is good. So we're going to recurse with it. And look, when it recurses, it's now going to check this action again. And then we're checking this and saying takeout resource condition is also good. We're going to recurse with it, and then it checks the next action. Now we're going to check this again, because this is now available to us because it meets that condition. Checking resource is good. Build any building condition is good. The goal is now this. We're done. Now we have our things again. So now that should be working out correctly. So now what we want to do is go to our world state, and we want to say there's already a resource on the ground. Let's see if we get something different. Okay, pausing it. Takeout. Takeout is good. So we're going to do it. We're going to recurse with it. We're going to do a building. That is good. And then we build it. It's good. Goal is good. And then we exit our recursion completely. And we don't want that to happen. So let's go to our plan, because we really wanted to find all of the paths that can lead to a goal. So if found is met, do we not return true here? Hmm. I'm afraid to take these out. Do we just return true here? Let's think about this. So we don't recurse and we just return. We don't need to look at any more actions. We've found the goal. So then when it goes back here, this is true. And it goes back, it goes back. Maybe we don't want to return true. I don't think we want to return true. Just gonna get rid of that. We should only return if we found the path. All right, let's run it. Play it. Pause it. Let's see what happens. Take out the resource. It's good. Take out resource. Building. Hold on, let me go a little bit slower. Check that out. It's good. Take out resource. Has a resource. Building is goal. Now we're checking out build any. That is good. Build any. No, it's still not right. Oh, man. So let's just kind of run through this. Because we want to always loop through all the actions no matter what. When we say it's true, go back to here. Is this available actions? We are copying them each time. Are we sending it the right thing? Current available actions. So hold on, let's just. We're always copying it. We return true because we know if we're at, there's no point of checking out any of the other actions. We've found a goal for that first one, and it should go back to here. Okay. So we came back from our recursion, and we say find path is true, and then it should check the next action that we have. Hey, maybe this is supposed to be current. current available actions. Okay, let's test it out now. Maybe a few mistakes, but that's why we're learning it. Pause it. We got something invalid. That's something different. But let's just go through what was happening. Does that. It says it's good. Recurse. Checking the building. Has it. Goal is good. And then we get to this. Invalid operation. Collection was modified. Enumeration operation may not execute. So this was modified? I don't want it to be modified. Why was it modified? Oh, right here. We cannot remove it. We cannot remove it right here. Alright, this is a little tricky. We're going to not copy it here. Okay. We're going to remove it from our available actions. We want to do it here. So right here we want to copy it. And so we're removing it from the available actions. Kind of tricky. This is okay. What's wrong? This is just going to loop through the available actions now. So the available actions is always being copied down here before we send it this, and we have removed it from that. Okay, this is pretty cool. I know I've said that a lot in this video. Okay, still getting that error. This is copying it. Correct. We only use it here, and then we don't use it again. It's not used up here, right? We send it a copy of available actions. Okay. Let's not remove it here. We're going to copy it, and we're going to remove from the current available actions dot remove the AI action. No errors. Let's pause it. Let's go back up to the top. So we're checking out the takeout resource. We're checking whether a resource is on the ground. Yep, we're good. Because there is one, according to the world state. We're going to recurse with that one. Oh, because now we're going to check this build action. So we still have that one. And then, does it have it? Oh, yep, we're good. We're going to return with the build any building. Checking build any building. Oh, wait, this is the goal. So now we are doing the next action. Wait, checking build on any building. Hold on. Checking has resource 1. Building is, we're adding that goal again. Why did it do it twice? And why didn't it? I'm almost thinking of doing a int layer. Okay, this is just for testing. So layer is plus equal 1. And then when we're checking, we're going to say layer layer plus, what's this? Layer, and we're going to say layer plus that. Okay, we should have some errors. Let's go here. We're going to create the graph. We're going to send it to layer. Oh, say 0. Layer. I don't know if that would work. Let me just pause it. Okay, let me clear all this. Got too much stuff. Debugging. Okay, layer 1. Okay, got a lot of weird stuff there. Layer 1. This is now layer 2. This is now back to layer 1. Okay. This should not be true. So layer 1, so that's not true. So building a condition. And why doesn't it ever check the gather? It should check this. Condition is empty. Okay. What's happening is our states right here, current states, is equal to copy of it. Then we make another copy of it here. And let's just take away that and see what happens. Take out layer 1, building layer 2, building layer 1. It's still saying it's good. So the state is somehow current states is equal to states. Then we go through here. We're going to check the current states, which is the current states. Set current state is this and the effects. And then the new node does not care about, oh, it does say current states for the node. Why am I needing that? And then that's for finding the goal. Okay, print, pause, layer 1, checking, build, checking has. This is layer 2, goal. All right, layer 1 has resource. Still saying we got it, still doing that. All right, I'm gonna put a pause here. We've been gonna have to kind of look at it, but we're pretty much close to there. I just gotta figure out these states. I think once when I figure that out, we'll have it pretty good. Actually, maybe before I go, why does it not check the very last? Why does it not check the gather one? AI condition. Because if there's no conditions in the conditions, it should skip over this. Let's just double check that. Checking action plus action name. Let's just make sure we're even coming to this gather resource. No, it's not even checking it. So I'm having some issues with what's being recursed here. That seems to be the biggest problem. What is being recursed? And Because again, in layer 1, we should have 3 available actions to us. Now let's just do this. We're going to say layer plus layer plus space plus available actions that count. So that'll tell us for each layer, every time we come to this, it's going to tell us how many actions we have available to us. And let me change all this layer. Save it. Let's just see if we got that. Pause it. Okay, we got 3. We got 3 available actions to us in layer 1. Layer 2, we have 2 available actions for us. Now what? See, it's still, I see what's happening. It's still a problem with, I get it now. The reason why it's not going through that gather resource one at all is because when we're getting to the goal twice, and we shouldn't be. So we're still sending it the incorrect state. Let's go back up here. Let's just copy the states again. New dictionary, and we'll do it of the states. Check out, checking action building. Layer 1. It's still saying it's a good. Is this changing at all? Maybe in here? Go to definition. Add those. Okay. Maybe it changed it right here. We do not want that. You understand what I'm saying, everybody? Go back to our AI. Okay, so maybe we're not stopping the video yet. Let's go back to the planner. We do not want to do that. Okay. Because what's happening is this current state is what every action is using. So instead of using the current state, we should just check it with the states, because that does not change. The current state does. And so we don't need to make a copy of it. We don't want a copy of the states. I don't even think it's checking the node states anywhere. So we might not even need the state for the nodes. Let's do, this should be, oh wait. When we create a new state, it's using the current states. Okay, well let's save it. I think that might have fixed it, because we want to check the states. We don't want that to change in our for loop. Okay, pause. We got a little bit more now, don't we? Take out resource. That's layer 1. Hold up. Layer 1. Now we're in layer 2. Just doing that. Check that. It's good. We're saying it has gold. Now we're back to layer 1, because layer 2 is done. We're back to layer 1, and it has that available action of checking building, any building. It's checking it. Has resource, not in the current states. That's good. So now we're going to that last action that we didn't check yet. We're checking it. Checking action, gather resource. Condition's good. Okay, resource with gather resource. Now we're on layer 2 with the gather resource. So we're going to check take out resources. Is that going to be true now? And the answer is yes. Recurse, we're in layer 3 because it's the last action. Building has resource, condition is good. Goal is to build that. So checking building, any building. This is going back to layer 2. This is confusing here. Checking has resource. Build any condition is good. Goal is that. Now, notice it did this and then this. What is the takeout resource? Takeout resource is actually take from ground. Gather resource is gather resource. So it took the cheapest one. Okay, let's prove it. Let's see if it actually takes the cheapest one. Let's say hypothetically we had a super powerful axe to where this only took 1 to chop it down. No, I think either way it's going to pick it. Either way it'll pick it because it's using the same ones. But we can kind of say it's working. I think at this point it did do what I wanted it to do. It created 2 goals. It would be nice if I could take all this information and show in some kind of graph or print it out somehow. I think that would be good. Like I don't know how to do it, but I would have to think about it. Like it would be nice if I could just visually see it make that graph. You know, you would have to start with a node that has a parent. You have to start with the highest costing node. And then as it checks its parent, it basically goes through all of the nodes, but it always looks for the highest node. And then it goes backwards through each of the parents and removes it from the list. So, all right, well, I'll try to think about that just so I can see. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for patience as you watch me go through this. I'm sure you have probably already figured out, or while you're watching this, you probably figure out what's wrong. Um, but it's kind of good that this is going wrong, so it helps me to understand the algorithm better and what is needed in order for it to work correctly. But thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.